Pragmata is a game with a unique gameplay loop that adds a different skill. Have you ever wondered what a 100th playthrough of Pragmata on Lunatic looks like?
Leave it to me.
And here we go again. Yes, if you are fast enough with your hacks with a specific build, you can basically loop the Override Protocol over and over again. I am starting a brand new game on Lunatic with one simple challenge. I can't take a single hit. If I take a hit, I have to restart the entire sector. Now, I could do the full game, but that's psychotic. On your second playthrough, you can skip the intro and head straight to the shelter. Let's start Sector 1. Sector 1, you turn on the power, but that wakes up all the AI bots. But thankfully, Sector 1 is very, very easy. First enemy, and it's just one of those beginner bots. And the best strategy that I found is to hit them like a Resident Evil zombie in the legs, knocks them over, and then you can pretty much just hack them to death. Anyway, I'm going to skip past most of the sector because there's not much challenging going on. You do have this one spot here. If you don't stagger them in time, you have to make sure you dodge the shot just like that. The hardest part would be this room because you've got to deal with 2 robots in such a small confined area. Basically, my strategy is just to use every tool available. Once you kill the small robot, it just becomes very easy. You basically just jump and dash away anytime it gets very close.
Bye, have a great time.
And at the end of the sector, you get the mini boss. And I fought this guy 1,000,000 times in the demos. So, because you don't do a lot of damage, this fight involves a lot of running. Now, I could show you the whole fight, but it goes for over 10 minutes on Lunatic. But during this fight, you unlock your most important ability, the Override Protocol, which is 100% not balanced. But yeah, the secret is pretty much just run away from the missiles, run away from the red circles, and take your opportunity to get any damage in.
This is how we say, good job.
Talk to the hand.
Back to the shelter, I upgrade my hacking to level 6 and my primary fire to level 2. No need to upgrade your suit at all. Let's head on over to Sector 2, and now you gotta deal with these spider bots, and they're easy to get rid of, but you want to get rid of them very, very quickly because they've got this very fast attack that's gonna catch you out if you're doing a no-hit challenge. Oh, how'd I not get hit? What the? We make it to fake New York City. And once again, I'm mostly dealing with the basic robots. You should not be getting hit by these guys at all. The first big challenge is the first red room. Rooms that are specifically designed to be challenging. Hugh takes out the first robot, but it does not end there. You think it's done? Nope. More robots are coming, and starting with an aerial robot. So I straight away use the hack Confuse, which means it will no longer target us anymore. It will target the enemies. Now, I do have Override Protocol ready to go, but I don't want to use it for these simple robots. And at this point, the charging of the Override Protocol is too slow to just constantly spam it. So our protagonist goes for the stock standard play of both shooting and hacking at the same time. But now Hugh is going to focus on the aerial robot because its Confuse hack is about to run out. So get it out as quick as possible. We've got one more to deal with, and you may as well just hack and shoot. But that's not it. It's now time to use the Override Protocol. I actually used it a little bit too earlier because there's a robot behind that I missed. But the first things first, we get rid of the spider robots. We don't want to deal with them. Now that we've got those two done, it's fairly simple from here. We got the slow robot who's chasing us. We stun it with the stasis net. We get rid of the little robot. And now we just got to deal with the one big robot left. And because it's so slow, it's pretty easy. Well done, Hugh. So why did we save the OVerdrive Protocol? Well, for this. Diana does her job. Now it's up to you, Hugh. Focusing on the aerial ones first. We used the proton laser. We didn't have much of it left, so we had to switch back to the riot blaster. Luckily, the riot blaster actually does some decent damage as well as a knockback. Focus now on the spiders. We got 2 more to go. The thing is, early on the game, the OVerdrive Protocol doesn't actually last that long. So you can see the other spiders already up. So this is where you got to try and get him down as quick as possible before he charges you. Oh no, some more clankers. 3 little ones and a big one, and we don't even have override protocol. But luckily, we've got stasis net, so we can stun them all for a short period of time and try and get rid of the small ones. Well, we got rid of 2 of them before the stun stopped, so let's use the barrier. May as well use our resources, right? Another robot down. There's 2 left to go. The thing is, the barrier's about to run out. It's only a level 1 barrier. It is out. We've got to jump. Get out of there. Jump and dash. Use the stasis net to stun them. And now, Diana, I need you to hack. Photon laser. Good, consistent damage. Woo! Very close. The robot thought he had me. But Hugh, he's got those thrusters to use to move away. When you've played this game for hundreds of hours, there's a few spots that you know where you can cheese out the robot. Look at this. This robot has no idea he's being hacked right now. Next up, they conveniently have this charge piercer just outside this door. That might mean we might need to use it. And yes, more laser aerial robots. We put down the barrier, we use a hack, and then we use the charge piercer, which is a one-shot. Introducing the first big baby clanker. With these guys, most of their attacks are very easy to avoid. The only one you have to worry about is his laser attack, which he doesn't do in this fight, so I'll show it later on. Then we've got the drone enemies. Against these enemies, I like to farm my override protocol, and then you just parry the drones. It's very simple if there's just one of them. Parry it just like this. Bang, and it goes back. Bang. Protocol is ready, and this is why we charged our override protocol, because we're going to jump into about 4 or 5 of the robots and launch the protocol. Stuns all of them. Look at this, and now we can just hack them to death, because you want to hack here. Don't want to use your gun because it farms back your override protocol. You can see it's already starting to farm back. Now at this stage of the game, it farms back very slow, but it's still something. Hugh, this is the toughest area. Starting with laser bots, drones, and robots as well. We try to one-shot the laser robot, but it survives somehow, which put me in an awkward spot because they usually one-shot, so we had to go for the barrier and try and take out the laser guy again with another fully charged charge piercer. But Hugh, where was the damage? We finally got rid of it. Okay, so now the strategy is once this barrier runs out, we can go up here. And why do we go up here? Because the drones will not reach Hugh, or they won't detect them, so you won't get shot by the drones, so you can just focus on the robots. Time to focus on those drones. Diana, we need you. Send those missiles back. One more drone to send back. Bang. Bye-bye. But ladies and gentlemen, guess what? That's not it. That was just the intro. Oh my days. Big baby clanker and drones everywhere. Overdrive protocol. Now we got to focus on getting rid of these aerial robots as quick as possible. The thing is, the drone robot actually takes a long time to kill. The laser ones, not as long. I decided to use Confuse on the big baby clanker. It might have been a mistake, actually. I don't think I was supposed to use Confuse on him. But we try our best to get rid of the drone, but it stayed alive, and I just realized there's another laser guy on the other side, which I should have got rid of, but it's fine. We can out-survive this. Watch out, you. Watch out. Drone coming. Okay, get out the barrier. We've got one more barrier. May as well use it. Use every resource available because they just keep giving you more resources. We're going to take out the one laser. Now we're going to try and take out the drone. But here we go. Fully charged piercer. Have a look at the damage. It's not much. These things are incredibly tanky. Oh no, our barrier has run out, so now we got to make a run for it. Okay, what do we have available? We've got a stasis net, so we're going to stun out that. Look for the drone. There it is. Send it back. That might be enough to kill. It is. Now we've got two more to deal with. One small robot and a big baby clanker. Now, it's just a big baby clanker. And there's, like I said before, whoa, watch out. There's one move in particular that you have to worry about. We're going to drop down a decoy, makes it a little bit easier. But the one move we have to worry about is this one. Pew, jump and then dash. The laser eyes, that can sometimes catch you off guard. 5 minutes later, we finally were able to take down the big baby clanker. It took very long because I used every single resource available, and so, well, the grip gun doesn't do that much damage. Some sections can be quite tough if you don't use the lasers, but if you use the lasers and you time it right, you can kill pretty much most of them. Make sure we don't fall on these lasers because that's going to do damage. We jump on down. Oh, would you look at that? Another big baby clanker. And that is another one dead. Now this area looks quite challenging, but it's not really. Just take down the robots one by one. I save the override protocol for the second wave. You definitely want to do this. And that makes that section very easy. And then finally, you've got another big baby clanker. And this is where we are going to be looking to use the lasers. I missed. What a major mistake. It's fine. We've beaten these things 1,000 times now. So we'll just do it again. And that is the sector complete. Back at the shelter, I buy combust mode, which increases heat buildup. And then try to max out my hacking abilities. Hacking gauge all the way maxed up. Overdrive, try to get that maxed up as much as possible. And then we pick up a few mod slots and node slots as well. Also, remember, get some thrusters. All in preparation for the first official major boss.
Over there!
Oh, who is it, Diana? Oh, it's just one of those guys, the big baby clankers. We've beaten them many times before. What are you... oh. Guys, are you telling me someone built this robot? Alright, Diana, we might need you here. Let's get that override protocol ready. This fight is going to be very, very tough. Look how menacing it looks. Here we go. Stun him up and let's get to hacking. Okay, watch out. He's moving. Stun him again. Let's go again. Oh shoot, he's moving again. Guess what? He's not moving anymore. Fast forward about 10 minutes. This boss didn't get to throw out many attacks, I can tell you that much. You'll quickly find that the theme of this video is the bosses in this game are actually some of the easiest enemies in the whole game. It's a brand new IP, so we can forgive Capcom for having some terrible balance, I guess. Gotta get to the green. Quickly get to the green. Diana, gotta get there. Oh, we're safe now. What happens if she didn't manage to do that? Do we die? Ooh, decapitation. No! Pew! Pew!
You alright?
I fell down again.
Hey! Don't sweat.
the ultimate father-daughter duo. Even though she's just AI. So for the next sector, decided to switch from the combust mode to the boost mode, which does damage rather than build up heat. I think these will make the boss fights and most of the fights a little bit quicker. It was now time for sector 3, and this is where my build is finally starting to come online. We start seeing some new enemies, starting with these samurai looking guys. Now, I don't have my override protocol at the moment. In fact, I'm pretty far from it. So what I do is use the stasis net to stun this robot and then try to build up my override protocol as quick as possible. And if you are unaware, hacking is the fastest way to build it up. And yes, if you just use hacks, by the end of this fight, you will have your override protocol ready to go, which is going to be very important for some upcoming fights. And then you just overheat the bot and kill him in one shot. We find the cat and move on. And so up next, this is exactly what I saved the override protocol for these fights that have multiple enemies. And then with your hacking abilities, now that you actually do a decent amount of damage with your hacks, as long as you pass through those blue nodes, well, you can just keep building up your override protocol. And I quite literally win this fight without using a single bullet or even having to dodge once. In fact, I don't think the enemies there used a single attack. And now we continue along into these rooms. And now things are going to start getting a little bit tricky. This is the first room, so it's not too hard. I just use the override protocol straight away. But now you can see my override protocol does a lot of damage. So I don't actually want to kill these things with my hacks as quick as possible. I actually want to kill them as slow as possible. So that is why I'm actually trying to avoid as much of these blue nodes as well as the yellow nodes to not do as much damage, so I can build up to my override protocol as high as possible, because you're going to see by the end of this fight, I was not able to completely build up my override protocol gauge. And you know how I said these fights are going to start getting a little bit tricky? Well, this one's got a laser that goes around in circles, making things a little bit tougher. And yeah, I actually want to save my override protocol for pretty much the same reasons as before. I know the next fight is going to be a lot tougher, and I really need that override protocol for it. So I actually decide to save it here. Just dodge the spider bot. Keep an eye out for those lasers. Trust me, guys, I got hit by these lasers many times. But now, as long as you don't get hit by the lasers, you can basically laser down the spider bot and get the fight completed. We've saved the override protocol for this fight. As you can see, we've got the laser and 3 bots. And not only is it just any 3 bots, it's 3 bots that move very quickly. And if you're fighting 3 bots at the same time, it's very difficult to avoid taking damage. So we stun the first one, and during that finisher animation, you don't take any damage whatsoever, so we can use that to avoid the lasers. Still checking out for the laser, make sure I don't get hit by it. We decide to jump over it, play it safe, and now we just go for the hacks. Overheat the second boss. We go for the finisher move, and once again we completely avoid the laser damage during that animation. And now we've got one more bot left to go. He's no longer stunned, so we use the confusion on him, but that doesn't quite change things sometimes, because he might randomly decide to attack towards you anyway. The laser's coming, the laser's coming. Jump over it, dash. At this point I realize, why am I even using the hacks? I don't need to build up any more override protocol gauge, so I may as well just use my weapons. But also my weapons do very little damage because my build is so focused on hacking. Up next, we got another brand new robot. Big circly dancy looking thing. But this time there's no lasers to deal with, so this section's actually pretty easy. What's this? A secret passage, illusory wall. Oh, hang on. Of course they would do this to me, Capcom, but luckily for me, I've got the override protocol, so I've got nothing to worry about. So in Pragmata, you've got this blue dead filament, but Diana, luckily, she can remove it Somehow she has that ability. I don't know how. But in this room in particular, you definitely want an impact barrier if you don't have Override Protocol, which I don't have at the moment. So you use the impact barrier, so you're going to take 0 damage. There are hundreds of these little robot spiders. Okay, I'm exaggerating. There's only about 5 or 6. Use the barrier to hack, then you got your Override Protocol, use that, and it's gonna one-shot them all. And then in the next room, we have this room with lightning strikes, and as long as you stay away from the lightning strikes, it's fairly simple, and it actually stuns the bots. But now we have another red room. Now this room can be a little bit tricky with some of the aerial sniper bots, but I've got the Override Protocol, so we're going to use that straight away. And this is actually going to get rid of the flying bot to our left. You don't even see it yet. And then we're just going to farm back our Override Protocol on this guy, because you need the Override Protocol for this next section. There is a ton of bots in a small area, so I run in between them all, just dodge the one, use the Override Protocol, and you know the story from here. Just towards the end, the protocol will run out, so you're going to have to do at least some dodging. And you may as well use your weapon as well. Then you have some drones to deal with, and I typically just cheese them out by going very far away and then, you know, shooting the drones back, and eventually they die. And then from there, the red room is pretty easy. Remember that mini boss from Sector 1? Well, he is back. Now, very interesting fact, this mini boss, for whatever reason, does not get stunned very long with your Override Protocol. So, you typically just have to fight him the good old normal way. And that is typically just running around in circles, avoiding the missiles. It's actually a little bit easy. Well, you're in a smaller room, so it's not easier. But the thing is, you've got more thrusting abilities, which means you can dash a lot more often, so that makes it a bit easier. But just like the first fight, it goes for a very long time. You sees a free chest ahead. Nothing to stop us, right? Wrong! Because there's another invisible enemy. I knew it this time. You're not gonna catch me out, my friend. So here we go, another little tricky spot. It's very dark, so you know there's something hunting you, but where is it? It's behind me, it's coming. Make sure you dodge that and then jump away. I was too frustrated. I was like, I'm not sure where this guy is. I'm not gonna take any damage. Let's just use the Override Protocol and finish him off. Okay, big, tough room here. Look how big this room is. I throw down a decoy. We run around, we've got the Override Protocol. We try to run at least somewhat to the middle to try and get as many of these enemies as possible. And we use the hacking ability. But I actually completely forgot or I trolled a little bit. I forgot about the red lines, which disables my hacking. So I had to get rid of that. And I messed up badly. And then I messed up again. So you don't want to get hit by these red lines because it disables your hacking. But then eventually I get it right. We got rid of that, and now I can go back to hacking. More enemies spawn later on, and we just keep repeating the process. Override Protocol into hacking. That is the sector complete, apart from the final boss. But we go back to shelter, and Diana shows us a cool picture with a cat and us. Oh.
Hey, it's actually pretty good. Shows you're a real cat lover.
We upgrade as much as we can. I think I do a few of the training missions at this point to upgrade even further. Watch out, Hugh. We don't want to take any damage, so we gotta dodge that. Okay, so now this fight, the Robot Scorpion, is a little bit more interesting of a boss fight because you can't just hack him to death, because it's a lot harder to hack. So at this point, I also don't have the Override Protocol, which makes things a little bit easier. But you can see it's got those red nodes, which completely block your hack. So you got to be a little bit more particular with moving your mouse. You don't want to hit those red nodes. And then even with the Override Protocol into hacking strategy, you can't really just loop it over and over. You can almost do it, but it just takes a little bit longer to hack. So you don't quite get the Override Protocol in time. But as you can see, it is pretty close, so you may have to dodge a few attacks. So it's not that brain dead easy compared to the last boss fight. So here, for example, we get the gauge built up about 3/4 of the way up before it starts to move again, and we have to go for some dodges. So the big swipe, we got to go for the big jump, and then we can continue to hack. And then here he's going to throw his stomach at you, I guess, whatever you call that. Here he's getting close to me. I'm getting a little bit worried, but we just dash away. We need to get one hack in, but we jump, and now we go for the hack, and then hover in the air by holding the button. Override Protocol. And we keep repeating. And then towards the end of the fight, the Scorpion will enter into this new phase or mode where it jumps up on the wall. And this is where things can start getting a little bit tricky. So I try to hack him, before he jumps up. We get a free little hack in. But now he throws down these mines. Yeah, they're called mines. Thank you, Diana, for reminding me. They're called mines. We can try and deactivate some of them, but the lasers, this is where things get a bit tricky. That one was pretty easy to avoid, but the next one is probably a little bit harder to avoid because you think it's going to go out or back in, but no. It's just standard lasers. They just go completely straight. And then he also throws a drone at you, so you got to send the drone back, dodge these lasers. We can try and deactivate some of the mimes. I gotta be quick though, because what's happening? He's sending down a drone. We send that back and it gets stunned. He somehow got stunned. I think the drone must have hit him. But now that we've got the Override Protocol, we may as well go for some damage with our weapon. But as soon as we go using the photon laser, he jumps up. So we straight away activate the Override Protocol. We don't want any interaction and we go back to hacking. But as you can see, the hacking bar or circle or squares, whatever you want to call it, is very big with this boss, so it does take some time. I could probably do it a bit quicker, but I'm trying to do as much damage as possible, hitting those blue nodes. We haven't quite finished the Scorpion off just yet. A few more hits will do it. We dodged that. Well, he was pretty far away, so we didn't have to dodge. Jump that! Jump the swipe! Go for a hack! Now, one more hack should do the job. Another laser move. He hasn't done this one yet in this sequence of a fight, but there it is. The Scorpion is down. There's a little bit more interaction. We couldn't just loop the Override Protocol over and over again. But in the end, it's still quite easy. We save the kid 8. 8 and Diana have a little bit of a moment. Hugh's like, Diana, hey, we don't have time for this. This place is going to get shut down. We got to get out of here.
Time's up. We're leaving.
Saved. No. 8. Sector 4. We now have to deal with this giant worm.
Don't get excavator, okay?
Okay. So I actually decide to kill this giant worm. You don't have to. You can actually just run past it. But I do it because it just makes life a lot easier. Because otherwise this giant worm will just follow you around in this section, and it does make getting no hit very tough. So the strategy I use is I walk on the ground and then I jump back up onto this platform. Now this thing can't get you when you're on this platform, so basically I slowly wither him down until eventually he dies or basically runs away.
Hell yeah! That'll teach it not to mess with us.
Now this section, we've got the Override Protocol ready to go, but you don't want to prematurely use it because this is just the first wave. So I actually decide to hold on to my ultimate, use the stasis net to get some stuns in, and charge with the shotgun. You see my shotgun actually doesn't do much damage. That's because I haven't really invested into weapons at all, because it's just a weaker build. Make sure you dodge the spider one. Ooh, it's quite close, but we managed to survive. Then we stun it. We go to finish it off. Get rid of the last robot. And now it's time for phase number 2. But it's time for one of the hardest enemies in the game, because you can't exactly just hack it. The only way to really defeat this thing is to use the Overdrive Protocol, because he's got a massive shield. And this shield you cannot hack through. But when you use the Override Protocol, you can see I went for a hack there. You can't really hack it because everything's red. So I just go for shots instead. And that's that. Anyway, we make it back outside. And look at this, it's so beautiful. But we're on this big I guess, platform, elevator, and all of a sudden, we've got some enemies to deal with. Now, these first two are pretty easy, but it's not the first two that I'm worried about. It's what comes next. And that is this thing, the big flying robot, and this is one of the toughest enemies to fight. Once again, without the OVerdrive Protocol. The OVerdrive Protocol is basically a win all button. It is a win more button, so you want to abuse it as much as possible. Unfortunately, I just wasn't quick enough with the hacks to get another OVerdrive Protocol in time. I think I actually just needed one more hack there, but I had to worry about these missiles. So you just send one of them back, dodge the other one, and what's next? Jump! Diana says, because there's lasers. We jump that, and now we've got to get one hack. Get close enough for the hack. Come on, get there quickly. There's the OVerdrive Protocol. Instantly use it, and we go back. Now, the second time around, this robot gets overheated. This gives us a lot more time to build our OVerdrive Protocol. So that's exactly what we do. We can go for a big finisher here. Is it going to be enough? Doesn't look like it. It's not enough, but we do have the OVerdrive Protocol. We're going to use that instantly. And so I guess you've already seen with an optimal build, there's not much fighting back from these robots. You can avoid most of the attacks by not even allowing them to do most of their attacks. So I think at the end of the day, there's a big fundamental flaw with this game's gameplay philosophy. Hacking's a little bit too overpowered. But having said that, these new enemies I'm about to encounter have dead filament attached to them, which makes it a little bit more interesting. It adds a brand new curveball because you can't just hack them freely. Now, this first one was easy to take out because it was just one of them, but things do get tougher as we go on, trust me. Okay, so here we are. If you don't have a barrier at this point, you're probably pretty cooked because this missile guy just starts shooting a ton of stuff at you, and you can't just one-shot him. I just one-shot him. Wait, but trust me, without a barrier, you're gonna struggle against this thing. Anyway, I have to get rid of this big worm again. And I basically just use the exact same strategy as before. He can't get you when you're on these platforms, only when you're on the ground. I get rid of the worm once again, but let's fast forward to another red room. These are probably my favorite games in the room because they add a whole new challenge typically. So I've got the OVerdrive Protocol. We're going to jump on top of this platform to make sure we hit all of them. And there's a lot of aerial robots to deal with, so I'm going to try and get rid of them as quick as possible. Once I do that, I focus on the samurai robots on the ground. And here's a big reason why you want to get on this platform, because these samurai robots on the ground, they can't actually hit you when you're on top of this platform. But once you get past them, the platform lowers, and now you got to deal with another one of these big shield guys. And once again, the only counterplay, OVerdrive Protocol. I feel like a broken record at this point, just repeating myself over and over again. But let's just get rid of him. I make it look easy, but it took me 100 playthroughs to master all of this, by the way. I made it easier for you guys if you're going to play this game next. The big bad boss of this sector is now coming up, and guess who it is? The big flippin' worm. Again. I've already defeated this guy twice, but he's back for some more, and this time it's going to be a lot tougher.
Look, it's our old friend Mr.
Okay, now this fight works a bit differently. It's probably the hardest boss fight in the whole game. In fact, it's probably the hardest fight full stop in the whole game. So pretty early on with my hacks, I want to make sure I use the yellow node, specifically the one that builds up heat. So I go pretty slow here to make sure I hit most of the yellow nodes. Speed hacking doesn't really work great against this boss because the OVerdrive Protocol is not as overpowered. So unlike the other fights, which were pretty easy, I'm going to show most of this fight, if not all of it. So the worm comes out. Not exactly sure what it's doing. I think it's setting something up on the ground. There's something coming out of its mouth like sand. And then it just goes straight back into the ground. And it's going to pop out again. And this time, once again, you can get some free hacks in. So make use of that. But it's going to laser the building. So get ready to jump off. We've got the OVerdrive Protocol ready to go. The worm disappears again. Be careful. It can jump out in front of you at any point. You can see it's getting closer. So we run backwards a little bit. Okay, it jumps out. We're going to use the OVerdrive Protocol. And this time, instead of going straight into hacking, Q is going to use the photon laser, because the OVerdrive Protocol, just in general, is not as good at this fight. Then we're going to start hacking just to build up a little bit of gauge. But the stun doesn't last as long on this creature. Alright, we've now got some decent damage in. It's about to go back underground. And now what's it going to do? Jump out right in front of us! No, it's gotten stunned. And here's the big reason why the OVerdrive Protocol is not very strong against this boss. It's because in that state, when it's stunned, you can't hack it at all. Whereas everything else you can. We get some good damage in, but that basically means you cannot just build your gauge for the OVerdrive Protocol for free. Oh, Diana, that's a failure. Don't miss these hacks. We need you. Okay, so now it summons these little bots. And these bots are going to fly towards you. So what I like to do is get out my barrier here and then try and respond to these bots. I missed that one there. Get that one. And if you're able to reflect them, they will go back to the enemy boss, the worm, and do damage. Do we get another one? We do get another one. Here comes the laser. I dash away just to be safe. The barrier isn't going to last much longer, but now we're going to be careful. These flying bots try to parry another one. Got another one, but watch out. Here comes another one. Okay, we keep to the wall. And we also got to worry about the worm at the same time. So this is what makes this fight difficult. You got to worry about multiple things at the same time. But keep running around, keep checking your surroundings, and don't get caught up from behind, because you don't want to get backshotted in this fight. Yes. Anyway, another stun. Once again, we can't abuse the OVerdrive Protocol, and so we just go for another free finisher attack. Only 7,500 damage, but we've got him way below half health now. Okay, keep running around. We've got the OVerdrive Protocol ready to rumble. So as soon as it jumps out, we're going to use it. There we go. We use it. He's up in the air. I prefer him on the ground, but let's see how much damage I can get in here. I go for the shooting first, and then I go for the hacking. As you can see, the hacking is quite difficult with how big the hacking field is now. Okay, he's going to jump away. Oh, nearly got hit by those bots. And what attacks? Oh, he's doing the missile attack now, which is why I dropped the barrier. It's basically impossible to avoid everything because it throws out lasers, and you've got these bots, and you've got the missiles. This is what you need a barrier for. Now I don't have a barrier anymore, so unless I can pick one up, I'm going to have a big problem if he does that specific sequence again. But now he's going to shoot out more bots towards us. We're going to try and reflect them. Miss that one. Reflect this one. You got to be really quick. Miss it. Reflect this one. Should be able to get that one. Yes, we got one. But now I'm a little bit worried because they're coming from all directions. So we've got to keep looking around. Yep. Run. Okay, here comes the missiles. So we run towards the worm. That's generally safer, but we also got to worry about these bots, and now it jumps out again. I'm not entirely sure what it's about to do here, so I'm just going to focus on dodging these bots while staying... Oh, is that a barrier? We picked up the barrier. That's really key. That might have saved us. Bots are still coming. I'm not worrying about reflecting them right now because the worm is here as well. Okay, here we go. We picked up the barrier, and it does do that attack again. So if you don't pick up that barrier... well, you're going to have a really hard time of not getting hit, I can tell you that much. But that time he didn't send out the lasers, so I think it was possible. Oh boy, he's sending more bots towards us. We're going to look for the reflect. The thing is, the barrier's running out, so I get a little bit nervous here, so I decide to avoid the barrier. I could have stayed in there a little bit longer, but Diana's telling me to get ready, and they are coming, and everything's coming towards me. So we got to avoid the worm, so I'm not worried about parrying. Got to also avoid this bot. We're getting close to the wall. All right, avoid that. Just keep running around. Okay, can we parry this one? We parried one of them. Where's the worm, though? The worm, we've got some damage in. We've got him quite low just by parrying or reflecting these bots. Run away, running away. The worm's still chasing. Okay. If we can get a few hacks in, we'll be able to get the OVerdrive Protocol, which is going to be really important towards the end here. If we can just get one more hack in. We're not sure what the worm's about to do. Okay, it's going to go for a big dash attack. Okay, we get one hack in. 2. Is that enough? There's the OVerdrive Protocol. We decide to save it for now because sometimes if you do it a little bit too late there while he's going underground, it just completely misses. So I decide to hold on to the OVerdrive Protocol because he's in the air. He's sending out more proxy bots. I prefer using the OVerdrive Protocol when it's on the ground. But we've got the second barrier, so we may as well use it. Actually, now that I rewatched it, using the barrier was probably a misplay because I just used the OVerdrive Protocol instead. And this is going to stop this guy from sending out those proxy bots because he has to do an animation first to send them out. So now we just try and hack him to death. I could use my weapon here, but he is quite far away. And so the damage I don't think is going to be that great, especially since I haven't invested much into my weapons at all. So the hacking actually does pretty decent damage. You can see how much damage does this do? 400 at least with one hack. We get the stun. This should be it. Is it game over? It's got to be. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the big finisher, Hugh and Diana. We've done it.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
We've made it to the computer eaters, and our mission now is to shut it down forever.
Diana, you got this.
Well, that was a lot easier than anticipated.
Psych!
Oh, of course it was just a fake out. No way! It was the cat this whole time! Diana! No!
Hugh Williams, you've completely ruined her.
You tricked us?
Hugh now has to save Diana, which is ironic considering Diana saved Hugh at the beginning of the game.
I'm coming with you.
You can't. Not like that. You need to rest.
Hugh? I'm going.
So for this small section of the game, our hacking ability has been drastically nerfed, which means I have been drastically nerfed. Now, just to point out, this is a no-hit challenge. However, it is not a no-damage challenge because that is basically impossible. Because the dead filament on the ground will do damage over time. So if you're wondering why my health is not completely full, well, that is why. But it's fine as long as we use every tool available and use our weapon as well. We'll eventually get the kill. Diana, your hacking abilities are useless right now, so we need you fully repaired. Oh, shoot. Of course. And I don't have Diana. My whole game plan has just been removed, and now we've got a new type of samurai. Oh my days, Dark Souls is in the building now. Alright, so all we have to do is run around and avoid every possible hit. Woo! Look at this guy. Who does he think he is? I've got no weapons available, and I can't do anything without Diana. Okay, stun him. Ah, there we go. He's stunned now. What you gonna do now? We do absolutely no damage because we don't have Diana, unfortunately. So, either this boss fight is completely unfair, or we are going to be here a long time, nearly get hit, but we managed to dodge there, and I think I actually get hit just before this cutscene, but it did not trigger. And I guess to prove this, I gotta show you the full cutscene, and you'll see afterwards that the health damage did not trigger at all. So technically, I didn't get hit. Although maybe you could argue, well, technically you did get hit even if it didn't do damage. So did I fail this challenge? I don't know. You guys decide. Woo! X marks the spot. Bye. Wait, my health actually went down there? Did I troll? Did I not record the right gameplay? I'm figuring this, I'm finding this out in real time, yeah. Okay, let's see how much health I have at the end of this cutscene. Because I swear, I know I got hit, but then at the end of the cutscene, I still had 100% health. So I was like, oh, it must have not registered. Maybe the cutscene triggered at first. So I was like, oh, I don't need to replay this because I've completed it. But let me see. I may have trolled. I may have trolled big time.
I must say, not sure if you got a fix or an upgrade.
Did I do good?
Yeah, you did great.
Hey, Hugh. When that black stuff got on me, I just felt so sad and empty.
Sad, huh?
Depression.
Like you
Robots get depression now?
For all that gunk?
What if Faith feels like that all the time? But what she's doing, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta love Diana.
Let's go stop her.
I don't like most robots, but Diana, they made her pretty cool, even though she's just a video game character. Oh boy. Guys, it might be over. Hugh is infected.
Yeah. We're out of here.
Foreshadowing a sad ending. See, I'm on 1,000 health. That's why I thought I passed it. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I mean, that was a fairly easy section, so I can easily just redo it. But if you think it's invalid, hey, let me know. And now we're into the final sector, and this is by far the hardest sector. I had to spend so much time practicing this one. Now, the first few sections of the sector is okay. You're basically fighting the same monsters, or robots, I should say, that you've been fighting before. And because I had to replay this sector so many times, I basically perfected this part of the sector right at the beginning. But the difficulty with the sector comes with the new dead filament robots. You have to use a charge ability to get rid of the filament, or you can use your override protocol, but a lot of the times you don't want to just waste it on these regular robots. Another thing Capcom does in this final sector is give you these very small arenas, which also have the dead filament on the ground, which if you walk on, obviously does damage over time, so it makes the arena even smaller. Watch out, Hugh. Dodge that. Okay, so now I've got to wait for my charge. There's my charge. It's back up. Then we've got to charge it up, and we usually have to wait till it charges completely, so you get the full hit. And now you usually just need one shot to the head to stun these small guys, and that's that. So it's actually not too hard when you just got the small little robots, but they keep coming and there's more and more. So yeah, there's just too many, so I use the override protocol. Wait for them to get a little bit closer. There's the override protocol. It usually one shots, or there's one living with 1 health, so we're just going to use one hack to get rid of that. But that's not it. It's not finished yet, because we've got the big baby clanker with dead filament as well. So we have to stun him, and now we got to aim for his head to break the dead filament. There it is. Dodge away, and now we can play it normally. So there's a few extra steps, but it definitely adds to the difficulty. Here we go. Big fight coming up for Hugh and Diana. I charge my cleansing ability. Jump up. Open the weak spot, use the photon laser, charge it down. We use the override protocol because there's 2 other little guys next to me and I completely missed them, but that's completely fine. Get rid of the weak spot. Bang, there we go. Now we gotta watch out. There we go, they're pretty close, but I knew. Let's play it safe here. Ooh, watch out, Hugh. Okay, charge it back up. Get the big stun. And now we just got to hit him once. Dodge away. Don't want to get hit. We stun one. Oh, okay. There we go. Stun the other one. Now we can go for the finisher. One more. Finisher. Okay, now we just got to deal with the big baby. The problem is the Override Protocol has already run out, so we're going to have to fight him the good old-fashioned way. Can't abuse the Override Protocol now. So we dash away and straight back to hacking, trying to be as quick as possible. We want to get the Override Protocol back as quick as possible, because guess what? The next monster, I keep saying monster, it's a robot. The next robot is going to be a very big challenge. Get rid of the big baby clanker, but now it's time for the toughest challenge yet. A brand new monster robot, Dead Filament. This is actually a monster, I think. I don't think this thing's a robot, but we've got the Override Protocol, and now we've got to get rid of 2 of his weak spots. So I've got my charged Pearson. This seems to be the best against these monsters, and so we get both of them. You have to get both of the weak spots before you can then hack him to death. We speed hack until we have our gauge fully loaded, and then we can go for another finisher. Okay, so now we've got a really tricky spot. No enemies to deal with, but a bunch of annoying lasers, and I got hit by these lasers many, many times. So here is the secret. Run, jump, then you get down, hover, jump and hover, and then you got to wait for the opportunity. Try and get a little bit closer, jump and hover, and now jump forward, hover slightly, drop down, jump. There we go. I nailed it. And now we've got a red room. New red room. Hopefully you've got Override Protocol. Otherwise you're going to have a really bad time. Instantly use it. And it's another one of those big flying things. And you want to basically take it down as quick as possible. And I basically just hack everything before they can even send out a shot. We're going further into the depths of the Dead Filament. Here is a small room with a lot of enemies, so I use the Override Protocol to stun everything. But just to be safe, I also put down the barrier. Q takes out all the small robots one by one. The problem is the barrier is about to run out. The barrier's run out. I do have a barrier available to use again, but I think I decide to save it. Yes, dashing away and running for my life. I thought maybe I could just run out of the door, but obviously not. So let's use the stasis net. Then we got to charge the cleanse ability, because one of them still got Dead Filament. There is the cleanse ability. Okay, let's get in a few hacks. The problem is my stasis net just ran out, so now we got to run back, kite a little bit. Another stasis net. Let's go for some more hacks. Trying to get that Override Protocol back. Failed my hack. That's not good. Now we're in a bad spot again. Let's run away. Let's get out of here. Don't want to take too much damage over time from all the muck on the ground. But here we go. Back to hacking. Oh, what was that? Okay, we're fine. It's fine. It's all good. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all good. Just keep hacking. Do I have a stasis net available? I do. He's not too close. This guy's very, very slow. But we get the stun. Bang! Dead! Alright, now we just got to deal with the small guy. Luckily, the small guy no longer has Dead Filament, so it's pretty easy. We could just hack him to death. Just when you thought surely things are going to get easier. Nope, that's a lie. So, in this room, we jump on top of this thing because you're generally safer on top of things from these enemies that are low on the ground, because these robots are pretty stupid. So, we got our Overdrive Protocol, but we don't want to waste it against these small useless enemies. So, we get rid of one, and now we're looking to get rid of two. But this guy's so far away, he's taking his time, so we have to get up towards him so we can hack him to death and get a few shots in. Now we've got Overdrive Protocol maxed out. Okay, let's get back up on top of this. Let's see if we can get a stun. Oh boy, but yeah, the other enemies are about to spawn as well. And now, I might have to use the Overdrive Protocol. We jump down, Overdrive Protocol, initiate! Let's go, Diana. We get the stun. Okay, we can take down that one. We can look to take down this one. Trying to hack him to death. There's a one behind me as well, I'm pretty sure. Okay, try and do as much hacking as possible because we want to build up that gauge. There we go. He's almost dead, and he's dead. Okay, let's move on to this little thing. Alright, hack, done. Okay, what's next? Show me what's next. I'm ready. Let's jump back on top of this just to be safe. Okay, up next, we got some Dead Filament enemies to deal with. So we charge the cleanse, and we're gonna have to take them out one by one. Charge the cleanse, bang. There we go. Get the grip gun out. I actually realized the grip gun's way better than the machine gun, so I don't think I've mentioned that yet. Just use the grip gun. Okay, dash away from that. We gotta wait for the charge. Oh boy, big guy. Now, he's shooting this ball of dead filament, so you have to make sure to get rid of that. Also, there's an invisible guy behind me. I somehow avoided him. Things are getting really intense now. I need to get my overdrive protocol, so I'm trying to do a hack. There we go. We've got it. Overdrive protocol just in time. Woo-wee! Things are finally really starting to amp up in this game. Getting very, very close to getting hit. Okay, we get rid of his weak spot. It's taking some time because I don't have the photon laser. I go back to the photon laser, realize that is so much better. Okay, now we can go for the stun. Do some good damage in, but he's not dead. So now we're going to look to get the overdrive protocol back up while they're all stunned. Try and hack as quick as possible. So we focus on this guy. Whatever this thing is called, it's like the big spider catch you thing. That's what I call him. Anyway, let's keep moving on. Right, hack. Are we going to get this overdrive protocol ready in time? No, we are not. So, we're just going to have to deal with the big baby clanker in a 1v1 situation. But I've beaten these things so many times now, it's not a problem. And that is this room complete. The toughest room in the game so far. Okay, we've got the final red room, and this red room is really difficult at first, but once you figure out what to do, it becomes very simple. So hopefully you've got the overdrive protocol gauged to the full, because my strategy is to run around in this circle, and then we come to this box right over here, jump on top of it, and activate the override protocol. And because of this angle and being slightly higher up, I hit every single enemy, and there's a lot of enemies. Alright, so I focus on hacking the big guy first, because if you hack the small guys and kill them first, more enemies are going to spawn sooner. And here comes the extra enemies. So now we've got the overdrive protocol again. We activate it again and basically go straight back to hacking. And I keep going until there's one enemy left. When there's one enemy left, I don't waste my overdrive protocol, because I know what's coming up in the next section. Next section, we've got two of the bigger things. So I just use the overdrive protocol once again and hack them until I've got my overdrive protocol back already. Once that's done, this room is actually not complete. So run backwards, get out of this middle section, wait for the new enemies to spawn, and then boom! Hit them with the one shot. Oh boy, look what the game's starting to do to us. This room is evil. Not only do we have lasers to deal with, but they're also going to spawn enemies in this area. Now, on top of that, they also got dead filament. So we have to charge our cleanse, use our grip gun, make sure we get the headshots just in time before the other guy's about to hit me. That knocks them back. Okay. We've got two more left. Charge up the cleanse once again. Try to wait till it gets full. They're pretty close. Now you just got to make sure you hit your shots. I missed my shot. Got the second shot. Bang! Go for the finisher. Hugh, I'm going to need you here. Okay, this guy has lost his dead filament. So now we got to jump over, hover. Another finisher. Woo! It looks easy, but trust me, it's not easy. But just when you thought it's over, around the corner, there's a big baby waiting to attack us. But we've got the overdrive protocol, so we saved it for this guy. We got to make sure we get rid of his weak spot. There it is, and now we just hack him to death. Phew! Another finisher. Bang! Up next, we deal with 3 flying enemies. The secret, the barrier. It's the ultimate counter. Oh boy, what's going to be in this room now? More dead filament robots? Exactly. We've seen this before. Charge up the cleanse once again. And all we need is one hit with the cleanse. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, cleanse. Now, one headshot. That's all we need. We got the headshot. Bang. Finisher. Dead. We're taking damage over time because we're standing in the guck. But now, another one. Headshot. Finisher. Okay, what's next? We know it's not finished. What's next? Oh boy, this is what we saved the OVerdrive Protocol for. OVerdrive Protocol. Bang. Shield guy, we can't hack, so we're just gonna have to finish it off with the laser. Bang, bang, bang. With the remaining enemies, we're gonna hack them to death and farm that hacking gauge. Okay, what do we have next, eh? What's gonna be in this room? Hold up. A boss. Who's this? Oh, no. The dead filament samurai sword guy is back. We got the OVerdrive Protocol to get rid of his dead filament. Last time we fought this guy, we didn't have Diana. Now we've got Diana. So the tides have turned. It's our turn to destroy this thing. So let's have a look. Look at the damage that we're doing with each hack. Little bit of damage each time. We get the OVerdrive Protocol back and ready to just use again. But the secret jar in this fight is not to just instantly use it. So right here, typically, you want to consider using it. But he starts to do this charge thing, and I think it completely counters the OVerdrive Protocol. So instead, just run away. Run away with the sucky ducky move that he's doing and wait for him to finish it off. You're not going to take any damage. And now we go back to the OVerdrive Protocol. And guess what? We're back to hacking. And you just keep hacking because towards the end of it, you're gonna get him stunned with the heat gauge, and you can just keep hacking, and that's that. He didn't throw a single attack apart from his one phase 2 suck attack. Okay, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final area before the final boss. And what is this? They just at first give us these regular old AI robots that we've fought thousands of times. Come on. The challenge there. Yep. Not much of a challenge there. Get them all down. Last one. Finisher. Done. Ah, yes. Now this is more like it. Let's drop down the impact barrier. What are they throwing up here for us? 3 of the more difficult enemies. Okay, we're going to use the OVerdrive Protocol straight away, and we're going to get into hacking. And we basically just hack them all 3 to death. Not much of a challenge here either. So what are they going to throw up next? Finisher! Okay, this looks like a small little section. We've got some dead filament. What are they going to throw at us now? Oh my days. There's a big boy with a few small boys behind us. So I try to wait it out with the impact barrier because I want to wait for these other ones to come before I use my OVerdrive Protocol. Now I'm going to use the OVerdrive Protocol. Hopefully I get all of them. And now we've got to get rid of these weak spots. Cleanse them out. Okay, we're going to use the photon laser. Can we get one? We get one. Can we get the other one? We get the other one. Don't have to worry at the moment because we do have the impact barrier, but we managed to miss one of them. So we're going to have to get rid of that one as well. So I'm going to get rid of the small one. Now, use the shot. Dodge! Woo! Clutch dodge. Trying to get the stun. There's the stun. Bang! Done. Now we can go to hacking, fighting the big monster creature robot thingy-me-jig dead filament. What do you call these things? I don't know, but it looks like it's straight out of Resident Evil. In fact, it probably is straight out of Resident Evil, because you know what? This game was probably inspired by the Umbrella Corporation. Who knows? Maybe Pragmata is actually the Umbrella Corporation. I panicked and just used my final OVerdrive Protocol. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the final boss. But before that, Diana draws us some cute pictures.
Pretty clothes.
We give Diana some new toys that she's very, very excited about. And she gets to go to the beach. So just before the boss fight, I went to some of the beginning areas just to farm my OVerdrive Protocol because I just used it before the final boss and I wanted it ready to use for the final boss. And here we go. How hard is this final boss going to be?
How's the packing coming?
Splendid. Thanks to you. The shipment for Earth is almost ready. I have nearly fulfilled my purpose. Purpose we were meant to share.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Chill! Chill! Hey, Diana's got this. You know who's stronger than 8? 7. Oh.
She's not something for you to use and throw away.
Beyond repair.
Oh boy, what's this? What's this, eh? He's sucking up all the dead filament. This can't be good.
This is where we
Guys, maybe we should run now. He's going to infect himself. FPS looks really bad, but I think it's just the effect that they were going for. It just looks like it's killed the FPS. A little kid can turn into this? What? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the final boss fight. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've all prepared for, the final boss fight. Let's see how it goes. So I've got the OVerdrive Protocol. We're going to run up. Hugh, drop the OVerdrive Protocol straight away. Diana, do your job. Okay, let's get to hacking. So first things first, we want to use the yellow nodes except for the big number 10 one, which is a big chain that does a lot of damage. So we're going to use the other ones first. And now, when we use all of them, we can now use the chain. And now look at the damage, guys. Look at the damage. The more chains that we loop over and over. That's 2,000, I think. What was that? I didn't see. 3,000. 5,000. That was also 5,000. It's just getting more and more. It's down to 50%. He's almost dead. What's going on? Now we've got the OVerdrive Protocol once again, but we don't want to use it straight away because that activates phase 2, and if you use it too soon, it's going to cancel the OVerdrive Protocol. So phase 2 has now been initiated. Now we just got to run up. And Diana, it's time to go again. Big stun. Okay, we got to get a little bit closer. Alright, let's get back to hacking. Okay, now it's not going to do as much damage, and also it's very different. The hacking node's a bit different now, but it's fine. Let's keep going. Try and do as much hacking damage as possible. There's not as many blue nodes to go through, but as long as we go through 1 or 2 each time, we're going to get some good damage in. The main aim, though, is to get the OVerdrive Protocol back up, and we've already got it back up. So yeah, I guess you guys are seeing where this is going, hey? You're seeing where this is going. Okay. She stands back up again. Get ready to use the OVerdrive Protocol. Bang! We're looping it over and over again. Guys, you would think the final boss fight would be a little bit more difficult than this, but the truth is, the worm was by far the hardest boss fight, because we're just gonna go for this hacking build that completely destroys this girl. It's Diana. It's like, if you don't know the lore, it's Diana but a year older, with a slightly different voice and shorter hair. Anyway, that's enough of that. Okay. Oh no, we don't have the OVerdrive Protocol. Now we've got the OVerdrive Protocol. Bang! Hack that. Woof. Guys. Gee. What's going on? Capcom, I don't think you've balanced this build whatsoever, or you just gotta make the final boss a little bit more challenging. Maybe. You know, this is insanity, by the way. Let him know. Wow. You know, this was Hugh and Diana combined, but realistically, it was just Diana. She did everything. There is one more big Resident Evil looking boss at the end, but it's pretty much just fake. You just gotta left click or click one button. There's not much skill to it, so that's that.
Time to bring it in.
And then we have to sit through the saddest ending in video game history.
You?
Bad news. This is where we say goodbye.
Man, this is gonna make a grown man cry.
No,
I legitimately cried the first time.
It's okay.
Not even lying.
You're gonna be okay. Go find this thing.
no, wait!
Have a safe journey, kiddo.